Sharife Cooper has been one of the most closely watched and covered point guard prospects in recent memory over the last few years. The undersized point guard, who is currently with the Atlanta Hawks, was among the best point guards in his high school graduating class and went on to become the highest-ranked player to ever commit to and play for Auburn. Because of an NCAA investigation into his eligibility, he only got to play in 12 games for the Tigers. Cooper, despite his size, which appears to be closer to 5'11" than the 6'2" that Sharife Cooper claims to be, was a beast once he was cleared. Sharife Cooper averaged 20 points, 4 rebounds, and 8 assists per game at the college level. Now, efficiency was a major concern. He made only 39% of his shots overall, 23 of his three-pointers, and had 4 turnovers per game. All of this, combined with the fact that Cooper is much shorter than he claims, raised many eyebrows among NBA scouts. Yes, he was gifted, but he was also diminutive. In college, he needed the ball to be effective, and in the NBA, there aren't many spots open to let a guy come in and play this ball-dominant role, especially for a guy like Cooper who had so many turnovers and scoring issues. But he had raw talent. Perhaps he'd be able to focus on limiting his turnovers, and with more reps, he'd improve his scoring ability. After all, we have seen plenty of shorter players, even smaller than Cooper, succeed in the NBA. They do manage to score fairly efficiently on occasion. Sharife Cooper entered the NBA draft in 2021 with a lot of questions and doubts. We'd eventually find him falling to the Atlanta Hawks for the 48th overall pick. Some were taken aback, but some people were not too surprised. Cooper had the talent of a lottery pick, but there was also concern about aspects of his game that could lead to him being a bust, regardless of his size. On the other hand, Cooper jumped right into the NBA Summer League. Because the Summer League is where we see a lot of young hoopers struggle, some of us became a little less skeptical of Cooper's game. Summer League players are fighting for their jobs and hoping to land a contract. The stakes are high, but Cooper was up to the task and thrived. He averaged 15 points and 7 assists per game while connecting on 46 of his field goal attempts. Turnovers as well as shooting remained a major concern. On the other hand, Cooper had his moments and showed signs of greatness. He appeared to be in control. His body build didn't seem to be an issue. He was the captain of this Hawks Summer League team, making plays for others and holding himself accountable when he failed on offense, thanks to his hustle and solid defense on the other end. Sharife's situation was improving. Now that the regular season has begun, we don't believe many people expected to see Sharife Cooper on the Hawks main roster very often. The team has a lot of talent. The team comprises young and talented players from top to bottom, and it's not like Cooper will be able to play alongside Trae Young in the backcourt. So in those 35 minutes or so, we see a lot of young people on the court. For Cooper though, those 35 minutes will be a definite no-go. Cooper, on the other hand, has appeared in 8 games so far, and we, however, don't believe that it is a coincidence. Cooper is rarely seen on the court even with the NBA's current health crisis. This year, he has averaged less than 4 minutes per game, and the reason we say it's not a coincidence is that if you just watch him play, you'll notice he makes a lot of mistakes. That keeps him from getting more court time, and his turnover issues are difficult to spot without actually watching him play. In a limited amount of court time, he only commits 0.5 turnovers per game, but the film tells the story. Cooper is rarely composed, and he appears to be too nervous about playing point guard for the Hawks right now, even when Trae Young isn't playing. Because these aren't just bad passes, we believe it's nerves. They're just silly little mistakes that appear to happen time and time again when Cooper gets the ball. Mistakes that could easily be avoided and are far too sloppy for a player of Cooper's caliber to make. It is referred to as anxiety. Whatever you want to call it, it is now affecting Sharife's sweater. Sharife has never been known for his shooting prowess, and we saw that in college, but wow, it doesn't seem to matter how closely he's guarded now. Cooper can't seem to get his shots to connect. Now, with 4 wins on the season, going from 3 isn't so bad. Although the sample size is small, the inaccuracy of these shots tell the whole story about how far Sharife Cooper has to go. He's committing turnovers, and even when he's open, he can't score. This sort of thing is made worse by the score on the inside. We know he's small, and we know it will be difficult for him to score among the giants and bullies. But his lack of creativity, his mistrust of himself when he gets close to the basket appears to be as much of a mindset and skill level issue as it is a size issue around the rim. So hopefully that explains why Cooper is only getting a few minutes with the Hawks. He has, however, appeared in numerous NBA League games this season. With the College Park Skyhawks, he's settling into a more comfortable role that he is more accustomed to. He isn't being thrown into a game for a few minutes at a time. Rather, he's starting and playing a significant amount of minutes for the Skyhawks this season. Cooper has averaged 19 points per game, including 5.5 assists, while hitting 45% of his shots and 36% of his threes on a high-volume basis. 4 turnovers per game are a problem to be addressed, but not to the anticipated extent with Cooper's arrival. Overall, it is safe to say he's been pretty good in the league so far, even if the role he's playing there may not be realistic in terms of projecting what type of role he'll play when he is called up to the NBA later this year or even in the near future. However, as previously stated, it has been promising and shows of what has made Cooper so successful in the G League. Let's start with the setup. It's refreshing to see Cooper's abilities with the ball in his hands more frequently. When the pressure is a little lower, it reinforces the fact that Cooper is a truly gifted passer who understands where to pass, when to pass, and his teammates' tendencies. It's encouraging information, and you'll have to figure out how to apply it in the NBA. We've known that when he's not a team's focal point on offense, he can pass at any level. While the G League does not quite match the NBA in terms of play style, it does come close. The people there are just as big, which is why seeing Cooper score in more creative ways around the basket against G League players is encouraging. Although the G League does not keep track of statistics, he is scoring more efficiently inside the three-point line than rookie teammate Jalen Johnson, who is much bigger and more athletic than him. It's encouraging to see Cooper score so well from the inside. If defenders are kept honest, he'll be able to open up his shooting a little more. The three ball has also appeared to be quite reliable, as the three-pointer in the G League is an NBA regulation length and has a 36% success rate. If he's shooting that much in the real NBA against better defenders, his shooting in the G League is probably in the low 30s. Now, on the other hand, Cooper hits his threes when he's open, indicating that it's more of a size and adjustment issue than a stroke issue, which has been pretty big, particularly at Auburn. Some may chose to ignore these aspects of the game because they're all areas where Sharife has struggled when he's up with the Hawks. Right now, some people are betting on Sharife because he's as talented as he's always been advertised to be. But the transition to the NBA will be difficult, and the fact that there are many spots available in the NBA for unproven point guards, whether at the starting level or as a backup, is cause for concern. Cooper may be out of an NBA job after just a few years if we don't see much improvement. As a result, Cooper will face a difficult and crucial transition. It will take a long time, and there will be a lot of doubt. Teams will give up on him, including the Hawks, but talent always wins out in the end. Cooper will find consistent minutes somewhere once he's transitioned into the NBA game, even if some people argue that he might not succeed in the league. This brings us to the end of today's video, so let me know what you think about Sharife Cooper. Will the NBA be a good atmosphere for the young gem? Also, remember to give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell to catch up on all of our other videos.